research comment because when we talk about various types of hate, there's a lot of underreporting. Folks are not reporting the fact that they are victims of hate crimes. So what I've proposed in terms of doing is performing community mapping to identify relevant stakeholders. Because when we talk about Asian community, African American community, all these communities, they don't exist in a mile enough. They are very different and distinct. So, establishing a community advisory board that consists of key informants and community members. And the reason why I say informants, because sometimes people don't feel comfortable speaking on the record, whether it's because they are undocumented or just, cultural issues of trust. They don't feel comfortable sharing their experiences. So putting together this community advisory board that would sort of elicit the experiences and attitudes and perceptions of life in various communities will allow us to be intentional with our resources to really invest in the areas that need the investment to not just reduce various forms of hate, but again, to ensure full economic participation.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Just to put this in context, since just 2020, 2 years ago, there has been an increase by 368% in Asian-directed hate crimes. In 2019, there was 1 reported, and last year in 2021, there were 131 reported. This is growing exponentially quickly and is due to a number of different things. When I was a prosecutor for 10 years in the Southern District of New York here, I protected and defended a lot of the victims of crime in this community itself. Prior to that, I worked with Michelle Alexander on her book, The New Jim Crow, which is the seminal book on inequality in the criminal justice system. We need a holistic approach to revamp our justice system by investing much more in mental health treatment, substance abuse treatment, and education, especially education, as Joanne pointed out. Not only cultural education, but also vocational education, so we keep people out of the system. But we also need to then allow the police to do what they do best, which is to keep our streets safe, not be dealing with domestic disputes and homelessness. So the way to combat so much of the hate crimes, so much of the public safety issues, is to ensure that people are put in the place where they can do their job the best, to keep people out of jail who can be out of jail, while also focusing on making sure that our streets are safe, our businesses stay open, and our subways are okay for our children to go on.
Thank you, Dan.
I don't know what it's like to be a member of the AAPI community, but I do know what it's like to be targeted because of what I look like and who I love. And Ernabelle, my heart breaks because of what you have to experience every single day in this city. New Yorkers deserve to feel and to actually be safe in our communities. And that's what I'm fighting for in Congress and what I'll continue to fight for if I get reelected. I'm proud to have helped pass the Domestic Terrorism Prevention Statute through the House Judiciary Committee and the House of Representatives. Rand Paul is holding it up in the Senate, but I think we can get this done. I'm also really proud to support the Nonprofit Security Grant Assistance Program, which provides security assistance not just to synagogues and other places of worship, but also to all of our nonprofits, including the ones that are organizing this wonderful event today. We also know that hate crimes in particular have been facilitated by the ease with which people have been able to obtain weapons of war. It's why we need to pass an assault weapons ban. It's why we need to enact universal background checks. I'm proud to have helped pass the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act into law earlier this year, but we have to go so much further than that. And we also need to make sure that we are teaching the history of discrimination in this country, because no one is born with hate in their hearts. We need to make sure that we are teaching people how to love and how to be culturally sensitive and competent and value all human life.
Thank you, Moderator.